Good evening. It's 8:05. Welcome to another episode / installment of Free Thinkers. I'm one of the hosts, Q. Of course, we got Denise here, coming in here, and of course, we got Nikki D, OG Free Thinkers. They are indisposed right now. I bet you Denise probably eating right now, and Nikki's getting her stuff together. But whatever the case is, I think we have a good show for you on this evening. So if you've never been on Free Thinkers before, this is a prime opportunity. I say, unlike your current, if you listen to podcasts, you listen to YouTube and Facebook Lives, unlike most of your favorite podcasts, this is one where you have the opportunity to interact and come on and talk to us live. Where else can you do that? Not many places. So if you're checking us out from the Facebook page, then you go to the link down in Facebook, and it'll show you how to get on StreamYard. If not, then you can go to the YouTube as well, and you can watch us from there. So keep in mind, this is adult content and adult language. So be mindful of where you're listening to. You can listen wherever you want. We just give you a warning ahead of time. Also, make sure you got something in your ears so that the sound doesn't bleed. Make sure you're in a fairly decent, quiet spot. You may hear, even on my side, children running around and crying and misbehaving. But we want to keep that to a minimum so we can hear clearly and understand the conversation. And the main thing is just come prepared with your true thoughts and opinions. We don't want any watered down version. We don't want you to tell us what you think people want to hear. We are not in the business of sucking up or pacifying or trying to be nice or make friends. You will find a community with your authenticity here. I say it, that's a good way to say it.
Say that again. Say it again. Repeat it.
I don't know if I can say it. I don't even remember. See, it just came to me like that. I said you will. I say you will find community with your authenticity. Is that what I said? I can't remember. Gotta go back and play it.
I like that.
I know. Look, I used to be a rapper. The bars would be dropping on my head like this.
I know. Q is so good at it. So good.
So last week we had a topic, as you see, the cost of resistance, and now we're going to continue that conversation, or maybe continue it in a slightly different direction. We'll find out. But if it was anything like last week, then you in for a good conversation. Keep in mind, you may consistently see myself and Nikki and Denise on here, but you're welcome to join as well. Just whenever you hear this, whenever you just double dutch your way in, when you come right in, you don't have to come in speaking. You can just kind of fill it out, get a kind of a flow of the conversation and the way it's going. And when you're ready to speak, then you're free to speak. So yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I've heard people say that. That's why I tell people, don't be scared.
Mm-hmm.
We just, the biggest thing that's probably intimidating for a lot of people. It's not even that we are master articulators or anything like that. I think what it is, but people don't know. We talk on here like ain't nobody else listening to us. We talk on here like it's just us talking.
We do.
And most people, when they get on a live, then it's like you're thinking of all the potential people who may be watching, and this is like we just talk like it ain't nobody but us here.
Mm-hmm.
And so my point is, if you do it long enough, you'll fall into that space, and you'll get more immersed in the conversation than you are aware of outsiders.
Yeah.
Anyway, how y'all doing today?
So I will say, I think for us, maybe one of the reasons why we are so, okay with it though, is because we did start off as a closed in-person only group. So we start off like getting to know each other
I
super
agree.
intimately like that. Like there was never anybody else hearing what was said except everybody who was in that room, you know? So
Right.
maybe we're just so used to talking it out loud that it's like, oh shit, there are people maybe watching that we don't think
But,
about.
and
Used to doing it in a,
to
in a closed space.
We
maybe,
started
and
before
probably to
cancel
agree with
culture.
what you're saying.
Yes, we
You say
did.
what?
We started before cancel culture.
Yes, we did.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, we
We
did
did.
start before cancel culture. And just
Yeah.
to add on to what you were saying, Nikki, since we had those conversations, we know what the conversation is supposed to look
Right.
like and feel. So
Right.
just because we're live, then we can't get fake all of a sudden because we know what the real
Right.
conversations feel like.
Right. Right. Yeah,
Mm,
that's what I do value is that I know anybody who sees us on here who might come in person will be like, oh, they really are the same person. I mean, there's a little bit of a different version because obviously this is in real
I
life.
cuss a lot more. That's
Like,
all.
yeah, they still think and talk the same way, you know. And I love
I take
that.
the gloves off. I cuss more. That's all it is.
Favorite
But yeah, we yeah,
part. I don't know why
it's
that
all good.
tickles me, but that's always my favorite part.
F them pennies.
What'd you say? Bad influence?
No, I said F them pennies.
Oh, man, you better leave them pennies alone.
We don't need no pennies now.
I'll pick the pennies up. I'll pick the pennies up. See a penny, pick it up.
So what we going today, Nikki?
Well, I would love so many things happened between last Tuesday and this Tuesday, right? And it just ironically, you you had some things happen in your household, right? I'll let you share those things
Right.
that made me really like go back and think about. You had said, I'm so grateful that we had this conversation yesterday. And I was like, fuck,
Right.
that right there to me is everything. When somebody can say, I'm so grateful that I was privy to a part of a
Right.
conversation. It literally affected me less than 24 hours later. Like something
Right.
about prepared me for something I was about to go through that I didn't even know was about to go down. Right. And then later,
Facts.
Right.
and then later on in that, and you know, in the, I don't know, day or so later, I saw a post and I'm trying to save it so I can throw it up on the screen too. I think I sent it to y'all, but it just basically said, let me not paraphrase it so that I don't screw it up.
Okay. Well, while you doing that, just really
Yeah.
quick, because this ain't gonna take nothing
Okay.
but
Okay.
a second for me.
Here
It
we go.
really it the scenarios that we talked about, it really ran down the same way. So, I'm out doing my thing, Lyft driving, whatever, getting my money. And my son called me and then and I
Does
kind
he
of because
listen to
he
the
really
show?
never. No, he don't. No, he don't listen to. He don't listen to the show.
Quincy, are you
Nobody,
listening?
nobody in my
Hey,
household
kiddo.
listens to my shows. Nobody in my household listens to my shows. But it really can't. He was like, "Hey, Dad, it's we're getting ready to walk out," and I was thinking about it because I think I'm. He was just saying basically I'm debating. I'm not sure. I just wanted to kind of see
Oh,
what you
wow.
thought about it first. And I was like, and it was kind of the same thing. I was like, well, son, if you decide to do something, then number one, let me know.
Mhm,
And then just make sure you're educated. Do you know why you're doing this?
mhm,
That's number two. And then number three, then you got to make sure that you are doing things in a mature manner. So if there's anybody who starts to do things that's out of bounds or outside of the law or anything that could potentially get you in trouble, you need to make sure you're distancing yourself away from that element.
Come on.
And that was the conversation I had. And then he called me back maybe in 10 minutes and he was like, yeah, I really thought about it and I think it's for a good cause. I'm like, okay, well, if that's I said, are you leaving? I said, make a decision. I said, you got to make a
what I need
decision.
to know.
Are you about to walk out?
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you to do it or not to do it. This is something that you
Right.
got to make a decision on. Are you? And he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. And I said, okay, no problem. And I see, and I have a, I keep GPS on his phone, so I know where he at and when he going somewhere. So as soon as he did that, then I went straight to the direction of where they were at, and then, um, I met him down there. I didn't even say anything. I just I sat off to a distance, let them do their thing, and I was just making sure it wasn't. If anything was
Right.
ready to pop off, then I was ready to meet that fire with the fire. That's all it was. But oh, I will say this: my initial questions were
Ooh.
definitely answered. I think y'all remember I was saying, is this something that's is there an agenda behind this as far as if somebody promote? I can tell the way it was put together. There were definitely powers outside of a bunch of kids that put that together.
You
It
think?
was organized. Oh, absolutely. They already had the
What did
police.
you feel? What
They
did you
had the
see
police
made you think that?
escorting. They had what's that?
I said, what did you feel or what did you see that made you think that?
The organization of it.
Okay.
And like I
Okay.
said, there were already police in place because they walked from their school
Right.
to the city hall
Yeah,
and they
it was
protested in a
planned.
certain place.
They did have their plan.
Right. And I could clearly see that it was planned
Right.
by people who are professional organizers who did that. It wasn't just like somebody coming off. So
Okay.
then the question comes like, okay, what I know what the agenda is, but it's like now they have an angle to where if y'all don't listen to us, then we will rally up the children to do this. And it's like, okay.
I noticed that somebody had waters. Like they really had this mapped out. I
Yes.
think, yeah, like I saw people coming out with the things of water, the whole nine.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, outside of protesting for ICE, do you think there's a spin coming for whoever is organizing? Do you think there's a political agenda, not just how ICE is disrespecting
Uh
and hurting it? Is there something underneath that? Do you think it might be coming while we have people rally? Let's X, Y, Z.
history shows that there's always deeper agenda.
Mm.
There's nothing that I saw directly, but whenever there's something organized, they don't say, "Oh, let's organize, let's protest against ICE," and then once this done, then we're gonna pack up our bags and go home.
Right.
People who are professional organizers, then they have deeper agendas. It could be even further, like when you get into it, then maybe then now they may have people trying to. All right, now they may be preparing future Democrats to vote. They may. There's a
Thought
lot of things that
that's my
it's things where and they do it on both sides to where they let's get them early before they even able to vote. Let's already get their mindset ready for it. So it's you never know. The one thing that I always say is anytime you're on a bandwagon, you need to be prepared to jump off at the right time because every agenda, just about every agenda, their job and their goal is always to swing the pendulum to the opposite direction, and they will push that pendulum as far as they can take it. And the truth is, most people, most Americans, we want the pendulum to kind of be in the middle.
Right. Right. That's fair. That's
But
fair.
whenever you're talking about people with special interests, their job is to push it as far as they can that direction. And then another group of parties gonna try to push it back the other way. And we as the people just hope that it falls somewhere in the middle where we wanted it in the first place.
Mm.
Like, yeah, I want equality, I want this, but I don't want 6-year-olds telling me what their gender gonna be. Like, it's like y'all
Right.
gonna keep pushing it further and further. And it's like, all right, yep, off the bandwagon now, because like you can ride that train to help get the cause that you want pushed, but you have to understand the train gonna go too far, and you got to know when to get off on the stop.
Yeah. I have a testimony. or I don't know.
Testimony.
Let's go.
So we're talking last week. For those who just tuned in, free thinkers made a decision this year that we're like, hey, if we're going to be free thinkers, we got to be free thinkers, not just in our speech, in our actions and everything. Like we have to really like show that we are free thinkers. It can't just be a conversation on Tuesday. So we've been pushing outside of our boundaries. We've been doing homework. We've been doing a lot of things, y'all. So we have the conversation, and and I asked the question about what is something that you're resisting, and like what has it cost you, you know? And I mentioned networking, but Q and Anna both mentioned staying at jobs too long, and I was like, yeah, that's one of them. When I tell you, the next day I was laid off, I was
Oh,
Damn.
like, yo, I said,
you know,
free
Denise,
thinkers is getting
Denise,
powerful. What?
prophetic, get
Like a
prophetic.
mo.
You know what? I listen. I was
I'm glad
gonna
you
say I'm so glad you got laid off, because I thought you were about to say you quit.
got it.
I was like,
Oh,
oh
that
shoot,
would've
she
been-
heard me talking, and then she turned around and quit. Like, no.
No.
Like,
Yes. So, but for the last few weeks, y'all, full transparency, and probably longer, but specifically these last few weeks, I have been so frustrated with work and like just being like, what this is taking up so much of my time. This is taking up way too much of my time. It's not the place I started at. We've been acquired. It's not the same thing. I'm not learning like I was.
right.
I was feeling like I was starting to like regress mentally. That's why I started reading again. That's why I started like doing more things. I was like, I'm gonna have to take a class at some point, because I was like, the work that I was doing now, I was like, I'm regressing. The kind of people that I was starting to be around, I'm like, they're okay with like just getting it done. They don't have this thing in them where they want to do it right and they want to solve problems. And I'm like, if I stay here too long, I'm going to become that. There's just no way around it.
Right.
And I was feeling myself just like, not really, just kind of feeling like somewhat feelings of apathy, I think. But also, I'll say this. For the last maybe 6 months or so, 6 to 9 months, I have been feeling this need to slow down, stop spending as much money, start cooking, start paying off debts. I paid off a credit card.
Hey.
Stop getting shit on Klarna. Like,
So
I had just
prepared. You got prepared for this. You got
right. But during the preparation, I was feeling frustrated because I was like, I want to go to the studio. I want to record. I want to do my art stuff. But something was just like, no, you need to focus on your finances. You need to be structured in this way. And it was like killing me inside. And then when this happened, I said, oh, there it is. There it is. That's why. Because if I would have had a credit card I'm trying to pay off, plus this, plus that, and all this other stuff going on, that would have took me for a whirlwind. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm like not getting a severance. I'm not going to sit here and act like we ain't going to do that. You know what I mean? However, it would still be a little bit much for me. All of that to say, free thinkers fam, it made me start going, okay, you said you wanted to be a full-time artist. You said you wanted to make money full-time off your art. Now's the time. You got 2 months of severance, maybe. Haven't signed anything yet.
right.
But
all the way.
we go make sure we get it.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm like, I got time. I have time to kind of sort through this and start to figure things out. So, yes.
You do, but you don't. So let's fucking go.
Right.
You don't. Let's
Right.
go.
By time, I don't mean I'm chilling. Because, like, I had already, like...
Right. But that's going to go by. It's going to go fast. And if, let's just say if, right? Let's just say if the money is the thing that becomes the kicker, it's going to go fast. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
This is it. This is your layup. This is it.
This is my layup. Which also brings me to my next point, Free Thinkers fam, if you're out there listening. Watch what you say. And because you'll get it. And when you get it, you got to act on it because you asked for it.
Yep.
Which then means you have to trust that it's going to work out, which is the hard part, but it has to be done. So that's my testimony. So I got to be careful on these free thinkers calls because I don't anything might happen. We in some kind of vortex.
Denise, that's why I didn't want to do the homework. I said that last week. That's why I didn't want to do the homework because I knew if I did the homework, I was going to have to fucking work. I felt like things were going to happen. The right people in the right places and the right things would come together because I've been patient. I've waited my turn. I've said rejection is redirection. If it's not for me, then it won't be. And if it is, then it will. So it's just a matter of putting it out there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 3 out of 3 of us in the fucking 7-day window. That's it. 7 days. Because I did my homework too. And it's been a really busy week. I'm hopeful that I will be able to secure a location to be able to start the grief support group system that I want to do. So, like, I'm so hopeful because I don't have a space anymore. For 33 years, we were the space. I had space for everybody to rent if you needed to rent an office. We don't have that space anymore. We don't have no fucking space anymore. So I had to go find space from somebody else because I don't have it anymore. And within seconds, space was like, absolutely. When do you want to start? I was like,
like, oh shoot, like I wasn't ready for that.
Hold on. But all it made me do was just literally think of this conversation over and over and over and over, and how I know I'm my biggest like roadblock, right? Like, so it's just a matter of, ironically, being forced to do something that I didn't really want to do, but I knew I needed to do it. And I wasn't going to let y'all fucking challenge me to not do it and me not do it. So of course I had to do my homework. And it's just amazing how it's working, how it works.
Wow.
And it doesn't take a whole lot.
Wow.
But it just feels like if it's supposed to be, that it will be. I don't trip about timing anymore. I don't trip about things working in my favor or not working in my favor. It might not always make me happy when it doesn't work in my favor, but I know if I just sit tight, it will come. Like, if that's what's supposed to be, it's going to come. But to this point, we have to do more than talk about it. We do have to do some work behind it. The talking part just gets us to the people and the places and maybe the connections where the rest of the work has to start taking place. Because I can't do it by myself. I do need other people for this. And that's where I'm at right now. So it's interesting this all come together in different ways for each of them. And it's just begun.
Yo, that's insane, y'all.
Just begun. I'm sorry about the job situation though. I mean, that's never a good way to start your fucking week off, you know? But
I'm not though. I'm not sorry because I feel free.
Good. I just say that because I know there's always there's fear involved when you think about, oh shit, now I've got to find another whatever, right? Like, but
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy because we usually have to be kicked out of the fucking nest, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They knew it that this is Sparta.
Yeah, I do. It's never easy for me. I always have to be shoved out. So I feel you. I love it. I'm excited for you.
Me too. I'm scared. I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared, but I'm also like, but I can do this. I mean, it's very simple. I can do this. I have all the skills required to be able to do it. It's literally a matter of, like you said, hey, who has a venue?
Yeah.
Who has this? Who has that? Like, I need to do this. It's just like literally putting one step in front of the other. So I'm like grateful, that's the thing. If you're listening out there, listen, this is what you get with free thinkers. Like, you get accountability. Your life changes. You grow. You become a better person. You can't be stagnant and be a free thinker. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, you're going to see shifts in your life when you are part of a community that holds each other accountable. So I'm just saying.
Ironically, to kind of both of your points, I just watched a video in the last couple of days. I shared it on the Free Thinkers group page, and it talked about the percentages of people who become successful if they're just around successful people. It gave numbers breakdown, which I'm not going to repeat because I'm sure I'll get them absolutely wrong, but the video is on the Facebook group page. But it was significant that your proximity to negativity
Ooh.
and how high that is, but how successful your proximity to positive people actually is. And and so the success, the recipe to success versus the recipe to fucking being sabotaging your own success is who you're around, the people that you're around,
Yeah,
quality
they say
people.
if you take the 5 people that are closest to you, almost 100% of the time, the 5 people closest to you is the sum of the reflection of who you are.
Yeah.
It'll speak to the type of person you are. It speaks to the type of financial bracket that you are, the type of way that you do goals, ambitions. If you look at the 5 people who are closest to you, then it's usually between those 5 is going to be somewhat of a mirror reflection of who you are in all areas of your life.
That's very true.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's very, very true.
And it has to be to some degree, because it's like you can't be around a bunch of success and you can't be around a bunch of positive people and you stay negative.
Right.
You can't be
Because they
around a
gonna
bunch
be
of
around
successful
you.
people and you never right. It's like exactly. And why would they want to be around you either? Like it's like I'm trying to get places. Or I mean, if you're not trying to get places, then you're more comfortable being around other people who are not trying to get places. I mean, it works on all levels.
I did network this week. This
Yeah.
past week that happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I networked. Did I show you my new wig that I wore? I should have sent it to y'all. Y'all had tried out my new wig. I was going off. It was giving. I might put it in the chat, like, so y'all can put it on the screen. Like, it's the new wig that's going into the new era for the new music.
Okay.
I was like, let me try this out. I ain't been out in months. I have not networked in months because I've been inside because it costs to just go out. So
Literally.
yeah, this one just happened to be free because it's the homie. So I was all right, bet. And I went and I was, I like don't go sometimes because I feel this anxiety of this kind of like fake. What do you do? This kind of transactional thing that makes me uncomfortable sometimes, and just the fakeness of it all sometimes. But I went and I was like, I'm just gonna be me. I'm throw this thing on and I'm gonna go give me some water. I don't know how I'm gonna talk to people. I don't know how I'm gonna do any of this, but whatever. I went and I was sitting there talking to my buddy who was throwing the event. And when I was talking to him, I seen these people like dancing and just in their phones. And they were having a good time. And a lot of people were kind of just being chill. And I was like, oh my God. I said something like, I want to get in their video, but they might think I'm crazy if I just jump in their video. But they overheard me say that. And they came over and we just had this whole conversation, but it got really in depth real quick. It was just like, boom. And then it was just like, they're speaking into my life. I'm speaking into their life. It just got real straight to the not networky at all. And I was like, oh. And before I could say it, they were like, oh, that's why I came here today. Because I wasn't really trying to go out either. It's like, okay, we're on the same page. So it's interesting because it's like, I can anticipate that it's going to be negative, but that it doesn't have to be. I can anticipate that it's going to be all this small talk and all this, but it actually doesn't have to be. And I can find other people who are the same. And so that was, me pushing myself out of my comfort zone of the whole networking thing and realizing, oh, it doesn't need to be whatever I'm thinking. I don't have to go into it with a negative mindset. So that's my other testimony, y'all.
Good. It's
Pushing
always
against the resist.
good to meet good people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
love good connections. I love good connections. I'm
Yeah.
happy. That sounds like it's been great, but that's a lot of highs, right? Like that's like emotionally, like did you feel like when those things were happening, like, oh my God, this is happening? Like shit, like you physically can feel this is happening. Like and
Yeah.
I just talked about, this is something I know I'm actively working on. This is something I know I need to keep actively working on, but like, oh my God, it's fucking happening. Like it feels great. It feels overwhelming, but like it just, I don't know about you, but it feels good when you know that you can like check off your own boxes of your own accountability.
Right.
Like it feels
Right.
so good.
It feels like movement, and I had been feeling stagnant, which had been making me feel depressed, and which is
Yeah.
crazy because I've been battling this like, am I depressed or what? Like, what's going on? Is it the winter? Is it the weather? Is it? And I'm like, and then I realized I'm like, yo, I feel better now that I'm laid off than I did when I had a job, and that's very strange to me, but it also makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense too
Yeah.
at the same time, that I feel much better and I feel freer and like kind of just ready to go. Another thing I noticed too though is with that negative kind of thing removed out of my life, I'm noticing my sensitivity to other negativity. So if I want to look up the latest the gossips or whatever is going on in celebrity drama on YouTube, and I watch it. I did this last night because I was like, I'm bored, whatever. I forgot what it was about. Probably some rap drama. And I started getting anxiety. I just started, like, my anxiety, like if I get anxiety, I'll feel it like here, like in my chest. I just feel like this kind of
Mhm.
tightness, right? Where it's like, it just like an eerie feeling. Like if you walked in a space and you felt eerie, like something's off, it's like that, but it just like lives in my chest, right? And I was like, yo, what's happening? And it was in the, like kind of middle of the night before I went to sleep or whatever. And I'm like, this is strange. And then I was like, okay, I looked something up and I looked up like a meditation for healing. Put that on, read a book, the feeling was gone. And then that's when I started to realize, oh, a lot of this drama and mess vibrates on the same level of like anxieties and fears and etc. So not only do you have to shift your life in terms of what you're doing on your day to day, it has to actually be what you consume. You have to shift what you're consuming too, because it's hard to go into
Mhm.
the next level if what you're consuming is vibrationally is down here.
Mhm.
It just doesn't work. So I'm realizing that, and I'm like, oh, I have to be very sensitive about everything that I'm doing moving forward, because I can't I cannot do what I need to do next if I'm not shifting all areas of my life, what I'm consuming, what I'm doing, all of it. And that's a part of this process, I think.
I keep hearing the word alignment. Like I don't know if that's the new word right now, but I like that it makes me feel very good because I feel like that's what's happening, right? We hear healing all the time. We hear healing journey, like we hear all those things. And I mean, and those are all true. I mean, Lord knows I'm definitely subscribed to a healing journey numerous of times, right? But like something about the word align makes me feel so much better because it's better than just for me. It's better than just like healing. I'm fucking aligning. Yeah, I'm not just getting better. Like I'm getting better, and then I'm going to where I need to be at, or I'm So the shift, like you said, shifting and getting into all areas and places, like that frequency, aligning in power, man, that shit is addicting because you feel it working. That's why I asked you, how did you feel when you were checking off those boxes? Because again, I don't know about for you, but for me, it's like, whoa, self tells self, you're fucking doing this, right? You know you're doing this, right? And it just, I don't know, it speaks for itself, and it allows you to keep on going.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
wild. It's beautiful. It's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree that when you start checking those boxes off, because like you said earlier, it's you versus you.
Yeah.
It's not anybody else,
Right.
anything. It's literally just you
Yep.
versus you. And as soon as
Yep.
you decide you're going to do something, it starts getting done.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, when you check that box off, it's like, oh, okay, okay. I was right. Okay, I'm doing okay. I'm okay. Let me keep moving. Let me keep doing this thing.
Yeah.
Q, you know what I wanted to ask you? Did you and your son debrief after the event?
Uh-oh. You froze up.
A little bit. Well, the
Okay.
second part. Can you can't hear me?
We can hear you now. Yeah.
Am I chopping? Like
No, you're good
usual.
now. Oh well, kind of choppy.
So actually, I was kind of oh well, shoot, I don't know. Yeah, ain't nothing I could do about that. So like I said, I was kind of off to the side, and then my son, he came and found me. So he was he came and sat with me, and then we talked about some things. And I don't even directly, I don't know if you would call it debriefing, but we be having little mini free thinkers conversations all the time. So anytime something like that happens, then we have a whole breakdown on what the purpose of a protest is and why it happens and the different variables of it. So we always have those conversations, and we had it like during the protests of the rally, and I was just pointing out certain things to him. So I guess you could say we have sort of a debrief. I just don't look at it like that because it's kind of part of our normal conversation. And he like he just come to me and ask me something random. Like, oh, well, what do you think about such and such and such and such? And then that's how we'll start a conversation. We'll be talking for 30, 45 minutes just about the ins and outs of everything. Like yeah. So it's cool. I guess you could say we did. I didn't think about it that way. So yeah.
I love that. I love that your son values your opinion like that.
I do too. I do too.
That's very interesting.
And he tells me how smart. He tells me how
that?
wise I am. He says my wise father.
You know, most people think their dad isn't cool.
That's a compliment, man. That's something to be proud of. A lot of kids can't say that.
Okay, so you know the main thing is with that, especially for adults, don't try to be cool.
Right.
You will be cool when you don't try to be cool. I was in high school, what, 20-some years ago.
Right.
My lingo ain't gonna be up to yours. The words that y'all use, I'm not gonna try to use those words.
Right.
That's y'all. My time is my time. And I tell them a lot of stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is this word, you know. And even I had those conversations with them. There's certain things that will become outdated, especially speech, lingo, what you say. And I was like, there's other things that never change. So I'm like, there's certain even things when it comes to technology, there's certain things that their generation understands better than we do.
For sure.
But when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to human nature, that stuff don't change. And I'm like, so there are certain things I can always tell you, and it will always stand the test of time because there's some things that are universal and they what they call transcendental, but they transcend through time, and it'll always be relevant.
For sure.
That's funny that you say that. We've definitely we've thrown around the word like little mini free thinkers conversations around here many a times too. That's funny. I love that.
But that's a part of dang, you know, it's crazy. It's a respect thing too, and I know people don't look at it like that. But I respect their culture enough not to try to fake imitate it or think I can give some carbon copy of it and it'll no. We from two different generations. I'm not gonna try to speak like you. I'm not gonna try to pretend like I can relate to everything that you know you're going through. I can tell you about my experiences and I share, but it's one of those things to where people try to black their speech up. when they get around certain people.
Yeah.
And it's like, you think it's that simple? You think you just say homie and say like you use certain little keywords and you think that just make you in with our culture all of a sudden? You think our culture is just limited to just words and not an experience? That's disrespectful. So on the flip side, I try not to ever be I try not to disrespect their age and their time and their culture.
They're so
That's
different.
good.
God, they're so different. And of course,
And
I'm sure
were we not different compared to our, we came through the era of gangster rap. Our parents ain't understand that. Shoot.
no,
That's crazy.
probably not. A whole lot.
Yeah.
So one of the things I thought about when, you talked about how y'all had, participated and had conversations, I had posted something the day that Hutto did their walkout, because Round Rock had did theirs, I think, the day before. So all of the Central Texas schools all pretty much did them at the same week, essentially. It was like one day, every school and another day. And so, with that, being a part of a bunch of different Facebook groups, community groups, seeing all the different Round Rock, Pflugerville, Hutto, Georgetown, San Marcos, just all the different school districts, right? If you're part of different communities on social media, like you see what neighborhoods you're talking about and you see what neighbors are talking about. And I have posted the day that Hutto did their walkout that Hutto and Georgetown have got to be the fucking armpit of racists, because it was just, those two schools must have walked out the same day, because between Georgetown and Hutto, it was just, they carried on until like midday Saturday, days after these kids protest. They carried on for
Really? Okay.
days about how the parents should be arrested and how the school should be shut down. And then even at 8:00 in the morning on Saturday morning, somebody posts anonymously about, oh, there's no kids protesting today. How come there's nobody protesting on Saturday morning? Oh, you want to take on some? It was just over and over and over, so much so that like eventually they were like, we're not going to post any more posts about what happened at school. We're not talking about it anymore. But those particular communities, all I kept thinking was, what are y'all so angry about? Why are y'all so resistant towards these kids just having an opinion? Whether they're right or wrong is irrelevant. These kids having an opinion and walking out of class, these people were way too angry. And all it kept taking me back to was their fear is that those kids are going to be the fucking next generation of voters. And they are say, after watching these schools protest, these people are in trouble. This generation, whether you believe in voting or not, and you know how I feel, doesn't matter. But if you do believe that it counts, and most people do, they're in trouble. These fucking kids, they're going to be the next generation of politicians and lobbyists and lawmakers and attorneys. And I think the people that came
Yeah, I
before
do wish that
the work
I am eager to see what happens when this baby boomer generation dies off. And I don't mean to say it rudely, but it's like
right.
all of the lawmakers are old, mostly old white people.
Yeah.
And even black people, most of them are old, but they are at least 2 generations from from the people that it affects the most right now. So it's like I'm just curious to see, but and it's not even about that. It's just like everything is dangerous when there's not a full spectrum of representation. So I wouldn't even want a whole bunch of young lawmakers when we have a whole generation of baby boomers who needs to be attended to. Like, you got to have representation on all classes, races, age levels, genders. You need representation on every side to speak for a portion that's not being spoken for. And right
True.
now we just have a whole bunch of old people making laws. And I'm curious of what is it going to look like in 20 years?
Well, so to that same question, another thing that I thought about, and I've been thinking about this, ever since last week, and I'm sure that this conversation has obviously had to take place in a lot of households where, you've got a majority of the kids that were walking in our area. We have a very diverse area, so a lot of the kids that were walking were certainly of Spanish, Latin descent, and
Mhm.
clearly that's who is getting the brunt of ICE attention right now.
Right.
While I 100,000,000% these kids walking, having a opinion and a feeling about something, I also wonder how many of those kids know their parents voted for that man, voted for the person who has signed off on these people going in and kicking fucking doors and taking people off of the street and terrorizing communities, right? And so I've thought to myself,
Yeah. A lot of their parents voted.
that conversation happening at dinner, right? Like how
Yeah.
usually,
It's funny.
right? Usually most households are safe, right? You may not have to get into that conversation until maybe you're 18 and out of your parents' house, or 20 and out of your parents' house, and now you can tell your parents how you really feel about maybe their political beliefs growing up and so on and so forth, right? But there's no way that all of them kids that are protesting came from parents who were like, fuck Trump and fuck, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them came from
No,
households
it's a lot
that
of them, yeah.
voted for that man.
And that's where the
Do y'all know
power
the
and the
numbers?
control of religion rears its ugly head. Because Mexican with a heavy Catholic population, they are routinely taught that the Republican Party is on the party
Yeah.
that's on the side of God.
Because
Yeah.
of
And that's why a
abortion.
lot of people vote for that party, just because they believe that.
Yeah.
Which goes
What were you
back to a
saying, Denise?
conversation we had before, which is Kamala, she didn't really take a really hard stance on anything that I feel like people besides liberals are going to be like really about, except for abortion. And I don't think
Right.
I don't think Democrats, you can do that. You can take the abortion stance as a Republican, and that you can damn near, I feel like, win off that. Because
Right.
there's so many people who are anti-abortion and or Christian or whatever, and so they're going to run with that. And you can go, I've seen it happen. I've seen it go into these churches, these mega churches, and like things like that, and people are going to get behind no abortion. With the Democrats, I don't know if I want to call myself we, because whenever I do register, I probably might do, I don't know, right? What's the thing that a person, like, there's no like thing. So you have to actually create whatever your stances are and hope that that's enough to make people vote. And don't think she had anything that was enough to make people vote for her. Not anti him, but specifically for her. And I think we
Right.
like have to stop running on anti the other group and running on what we need. And I think that was a huge mistake. It was so anti-Trump, and it doesn't need to be anti-Trump. It needs to be pro what is going to help the people, and pro specifically like what the people need.
Yeah, I agree. And I did hear a number of people say, well, she didn't really say anything as far as what she stood on, other than we don't want this man to get back in office. Now, in fairness to her, she was the pinch hitter that came in the last inning, because they tried to roll Sleepy Joe out there again for another term, so they realized it just wasn't going to happen.
Right.
So she didn't even really get a chance to prepare for a full campaign. And to take it a step further, she wasn't chosen by the people. Like, if Biden would have said, I'm not running for re-election, then the Democratic Party would have done another, round table to decide who we are going to nominate or who we want to be there. But they really force fed her down our throats without our permission, and said, okay, well, she's going to be the representative because they waited so late in the game. Like, how you just make her that, and there was no process. Nobody voted to say this is who I want versus somebody else, and it was just like, nope, this is who it is. And I'm sure that turned a lot of people off as well.
Yeah, not feeling like you had a real, again, it kind of goes back to not feeling like you had a choice. It didn't feel.
I agree with Kevin. America is not ready to see a woman president. I think we're getting closer, but it is something to where
Can I ask
that
this question? This is going to
it
be
goes a lot of ways. Yeah, well, go ahead. Yeah, sure.
Have you all seen a woman candidate that you would vote for, not because some other person is like, let's say what is it, the primaries where it's before the big vote, right?
I would have voted for Elizabeth Warren.
Tell me more about that. Was it the free college? Because she was saying free college too, right? That was her vibe. She was big on that.
She was saying free college, and she just had ideas and answers for everything. She wasn't one of those who just blowing a bunch of smoke. She was like, okay, I got a plan for this. I got a plan for this. She was bright. She was she really knew what she was talking about, and I felt that she had the country's best interest in mind. And I felt that she was way more qualified than Joe Biden. Just listening to them, even during the first, I felt that she was the most out of everybody that was running for the Democratic Party. I thought she was the most, because even I like Bernie, but Bernie was just too far. He really on some socialist stuff though. I like Bernie, but he go way. He really.
I just knew it was gonna be him.
I know.
So here's my theory.
Even though, I mean, you know what, that was part of the breakdown initially too, because they keep telling me this. I don't feel that the American people was more in favor of Hillary than they were Bernie. There was a huge groundswell, and this was the first time before Hillary ran against Trump the first time. And somehow Hillary won over Bernie, but I couldn't figure it out because that's not what I felt. That's not, I felt even Bernie had older people, younger people. Bernie had everybody on his side, but somehow they just said they just wanted Hillary in for some reason.
I voted for Bernie.
And I think they, yeah, that's what I was like. But I feel like once Hillary, it was kind of like, how did she get it over Bernie? Like, the people are clearly behind Bernie, and it kind of, it turned me off to some degree, because I'm like, it's politics as usual. I'm like, y'all did that one didn't feel right to me, and I felt like a lot of people got turned off on that.
So I'm asking these questions because I don't feel like the two instances where we had the potential to have a woman president, where these instances where it was like without argument, like, it's like, it's not a clear cut, this person should have won. It's not, people didn't vote. I just don't feel like it's all because people didn't vote because they're not ready to see a woman president. Look at the circumstances.
The two candidates that they put in front of our faces, I was not a big fan of Hillary, and I was not a big fan of Kamala. I'll just be honest. Kamala,
but it's not because they were women. It's not.
It wasn't because they were women. Kamala has a very inauthentic vibe to her. She seems like a chameleon, and she's going to say whatever she needs to say to this crowd, and she'll turn around and say whatever she needs to say to the next crowd. I did not feel authenticity surrounded with Kamala. She want to be black and stepping at Hampton one day, and the next second she act like she talking about she's Asian or something, like
a woman of color.
You trying to be everything to everybody, just but be who you are though. Right.
So
and that's when it went from Kamala to Kamala, because Kamala is less black than Kamala. It's like, I mean, it's just certain stuff. It's like, it's just, I was never really feeling it. And then, in all fairness, too, you being a prosecutor, that you already started off on the wrong foot for me. On top of that, too, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that hurt her a lot. So,
and that ain't even no fault of her own. She could have been doing a good job, but I ain't feeling that from the jump.
Yeah, so this is why. So again, I don't think it was because they were women. I think the circumstances that we came to know them as people that we would need to vote for in is why they did not win.
But again, Elizabeth Warren, if you go back and watch any of those debates, she was clearly one of the best choices.
Yeah.
But they chose an old, sleepy white man over her because that was a name that people were more familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I mean, but I don't agree with that. I
Joe
still don't
wasn't
even agree with that.
saying
You know why?
nothing.
You know why?
He wasn't saying nothing at the time.
No, I think he's old and sleepy, but I don't think that they picked him because he was the old sleepy white man, because why didn't they pick Bernie? Like, we remember
they wanted Hillary. We
wanted Bernie. So what was the situation? It was the name recognition. Like, we all wanted Bernie, yet and still they didn't pick Bernie. So it can't be that they picked Elizabeth Warren. What I think happened is, if anything, the votes were split between Elizabeth Warren and Bernie. And that is what happened, more than likely.
I'm with Kevin on this one. I felt like they rigged that one. I felt like they rigged that one.
They rigged all of them. They're all rigged.
But they can't. Supposedly they can't rig, like they're not supposed to tamper with the presidential election. But when it comes to party nominations, the party itself has more discretion to choose who they want to nominate. So they try to say, all right, we're going to let the people decide. But the party itself can say, we're going to place this person above other people. And I felt like that's what happened.
Yeah. I think the votes were split. I really do.
Yeah, it could have been closer. It could have been a split. But so if it was split, then why was it Hillary instead of Bernie?
Because I think the votes were split between Bernie and Elizabeth Warren. I think people who voted for Bernie and Elizabeth Warren were like probably similar in mindset. So instead of all the votes either going to Elizabeth or all the votes just going to Bernie, I think they just did this. They were too close in terms of kind of what they were.
I don't think because no, hold on. You're thinking about the these are two different election periods. So when Bernie was going against Hillary, this is the first time Trump ran.
Right. And Elizabeth Warren wasn't in that one?
No, she was in the second one. She was in the one
that Kamala was in?
No, she wasn't, because Kamala didn't have to go up against anybody. It could. I have to go back and look at it.
Remember, she was running and she dropped out and joined Biden.
I remember that.
She was running for president and then she dropped.
But the reason I'm saying this is because the first time Hillary ran, Biden did not run. Biden didn't run when Hillary ran.
Right.
So Hillary ran immediately after Obama's second term.
Right.
But Biden didn't run. Biden didn't even put his name in there. I think the votes
were split between Bernie and Elizabeth. They didn't run at the same time? I thought those two ran at the same time.
So Warren was 2020. Let's see.
Oh,
it
Warren was
2020.
Okay,
it would have been no. It would have been 2016. That was 2016.
Oh, it says Warren was a candidate in the 2020 Democratic Party presidential primaries, ultimately finishing third after Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders.
Okay, so then that confirms my theory. I think that it split the vote. I think they were split. I think the vote was split. Those two should have tag teamed together or something, or somebody should have dropped out, but that split the vote.
Man, you know what? That means I'm old as hell. I can't remember what happened 4 years ago or 12 years ago. It all run together for me.
It does, though.
The
pandemic did this.
I'm so old.
I thought that was 2016. I didn't even think that was 2020.
In our defense,
anything, you know what's messed up? Anything after the night, anything from 2005 to 2017, and like that, all of that 12 years is like all a blur to me, really.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, we just need some we need if you're going to present us with a woman candidate, don't just throw a woman candidate out there that we don't want to vote for. Like, she may be
So if
educated, she
Michelle
may
Obama
have all
ran,
that.
what would you think if Michelle Obama ran?
What does she have a political like career?
No,
Like,
not really. Being the first
like
lady.
she I know she has a lawyer background, but like,
It
does she have a career in politics?
don't matter no more.
Well, I know what Nikki about to say.
Shit don't matter no more. You ain't got to be.
Right, Nikki like Trump. What political background did Trump have?
And he's doing a bang up job, isn't he? So we let's go back to politicians. Like, you know who I would vote for, but I think he can't run. And I was skeptical. I would vote for, like, if Mondami, if he keeps it up, if he was able to run. But I think he was born overseas and he wasn't born here.
Oh,
yeah. The way he's moving. When I first saw him, I was like, I'm
not
I was like,
with him at all.
Too good to be. He's the New York mayor. I was like, too good to be true. I don't know. I don't really like it. But then as time has gone on, I'm like, the people that he's appointing in certain positions, like the person he appointed over education was somebody who used to be a teacher and was a principal. Like he's doing things like that, where he's appointing the right people to the right positions that it makes sense. Like, he's actually going out and touching people, asking them about their housing, and really working on housing is such a big thing in New York. He's like working on everybody having childcare, not just people who fall in a certain like economic bucket, but everybody having childcare for their kid up to a certain age. Like, he's like doing some stuff to where I'm like, oh no, you might be for real. So like, if I saw a candidate doing things like that, where it seemed like they were really in touch with the people and the people's needs, I would be in.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So we totally off subject. We might rename this topic, but y'all, I don't know if Nikki ever did 21 questions with me, but Denise, you did 21.
I did. I think I did it twice.
Oh, really? I gotta.
That was so much fun. It was either twice or 3 times, because I think I asked you questions and I think you may have asked me questions.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Okay. So any this is a question that I would have on 21 questions. What is someone who is not in the political arena at all? Maybe they could be an athlete, an entertainer, a scientist, a comedian, anybody just out of the non-political arena. If you could choose someone to be president, then who would you choose?
For all 4 years?
Yes, for 4 years.
I'm about to say something. Y'all gonna laugh at me. The first person that came to my mind.
Dave Chappelle?
No. Dr. Umar.
Oh, wow. There was a time.
Hell no.
He'd be doing his research. Like, I don't agree with his whole like interracial dating thing. I don't agree with that.
No.
But
that's the worst.
The snow bunny effect.
Huh? You cannot bring me in, dude.
I've been under the radar lately, taking care of some business.
We miss you. Glad you're back.
Miss y'all too.
There will be a civil war within the first year. It'd literally be a civil war within the first year.
Why you say that? What's going on?
Don't get it twisted. All this BS that Trump is an old rich white man who still can get away with all the stuff that he's doing somehow. Nobody from another hue can get away with a fraction of the stuff that Trump is doing. Let Omar come in here with some pro-black stuff. Talking, no, it's gonna. Oh man, it's gonna be Civil War.
I like
He
his.
gonna come in with that Pan Africanism. Better watch out.
It
Obama
will not work.
couldn't even wear a tan suit without getting drugged through the mud and called on
That
damn
was crazy.
shit.
But that
Imagine
suit was ugly though. I don't know why he
so
chose that.
much. Can you imagine Umar up there? Oh my god, he'd be
He
in
gonna
the
say
With the kente cloth.
every
he
day.
gonna he gonna he gonna say he gonna say he a direct blood descendant of
I
Frederick
wouldn't.
Douglass. You better watch out.
I wouldn't even want him to be represent. I wouldn't want him to be representing us. Now you know,
Why
I
not?
would.
Why not? I think he's a good candidate, man.
I would appoint him to
Not.
education at the very least. Appoint
I
him
would
to
put him on the
something with
board.
education.
I don't
Huh?
know about that either.
What?
It's been like 15 years and he ain't put that school together. I don't know about that.
I've been hearing what he's
He ain't
talking
getting
about
no
in terms
support.
of getting held up.
On the
No,
support they
damn that. I don't get no. I don't hear that. He
You
ain't
know
getting no
who would
support.
be? You know who would get me to get into a voting
black folks have an issue with supporting other black people. Come on now. With the spending power that we
15
have, get
years. You
out of
could have
here.
put. But yet and still, he's making enough money to do these
We'll,
world
we'll
tours
put
for the
we'll
last
put
10
we'll
years.
put money in foreign people's pockets rather than circulate it in our own community. So stop it, man.
No, he could have a school going to right now if he wanted to. I'm telling you right now, if Smack wanted to build I bet Smack would have a school up faster than him if Smack actually wanted to do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I don't know,
Like
y'all.
Smacky
I've
love
heard him
kids
talk
and
about
Smacky have his. No, I'm dead. I mean, I really mean that too, though.
I do believe
If you really
that
wanted
could
to do
have a
something,
school
then
of Cricket and
you
Umar. But to be fair, like the space that they bought and like all the stuff that was going on, and then they had to get these certain approvals done, and they had to get a contractor to come in and do certain things. It was like he's talked about what the delay has been. It's not like he's not being upfront about certain delays and certain things and what has to happen and what approvals have to go on. And
Denise,
what?
That type of rhetoric is the same issue that I have with a lot of churches. When have you ever heard about that church? They had a building fund for the last 25 years, and you ain't seen no piece of
doorknob on the church
building nowhere.
Even the doorknob.
ain't put a flow mat on there.
Not the flow mat.
It's not about if you can do it at the level that you want right away. What level can you do it at? So for instance, that property that he purchased had a lot of renovations, a lot of red tape that he had to go through. If you're really an educator and you really wanted to start a school, you could start a school. It didn't have to be at that campus. Like
Yeah, but I think his school was a charter school or something like that. You have to meet certain guidelines.
Okay, but why don't we start at a smaller location and something that we can afford and use the funds to help build money for the larger school that we're trying to put in place? I don't want to hear anything about someone saying that they. What's that?
You can't use the school to build funds. I don't understand what you're saying. Like, what do you?
Yes.
Like the kids are going to the school for free. So where's the money? Like, why would you put money into a whole other venue and then into a venue that you're building? I don't understand.
Number one, because that's your passion. And number two, you say you're gonna do something, then do it. But number three, if you're not getting it from the students, then you're getting it for grants, correct? More than likely, he's going to get it from grants and other resources. So why wouldn't you be able to start a smaller building until you're able to actually move because clearly after 15 years, the building that you're trying to get started, you are not ready for that yet.
How long has he been? How long has this building been purchased, though?
2019. He bought the building in 2019. He's been working on it, the plan, since 2014.
Okay, but
anybody see
he's been accepting money for 15 years.
Can anybody see if the school is operational, if it's functional, it's functioning?
It's not.
Can anybody fact check that?
He's been accepting money since 2014. He bought the school in 2019.
But not only that, why are you not? Why
So
don't
it
you
took
have
about
a
5 years
school?
or so to raise that money, huh?
Why don't you have a school? Maybe it's smaller. Maybe it might be in the inner city. Maybe it could be.
Well, clearly that wasn't his
You
goal or
could.
his aim.
And right now, your goal and aim is nothing because you don't have anything.
I'm talking about
And
the
listen,
size of
this
the
is what
school
I
that
know.
you're talking about.
I'll tell you this from the city where I'm from,
Where you
in
from?
Decatur, Illinois. There are a lot of nice big buildings, either they schools or large churches that have been vacated and nobody's in. There's been several community outreach programs, charter schools who say, hey, we're going to buy this school, we'll renovate this for pennies on the dollar, and it's right here in a central location, and we could start a school there. How come he couldn't do something like that until he was able to fill the needs of that larger campus that he had? If you're not doing anything, then you can't give me any. I don't take excuses like that when you're not doing anything.
I want to say something. Now, do I think maybe there could be something that he does better as far as this goes, or quicker, or whatever the case may be? This is possible. It's probably true. But I will say this, logistically, if I am starting a business, because at the end of the day, this is a business. There's money that has to be spent. People got to be paid.
Mhm.
It's a business. It could be a nonprofit, whatever it is, but it's a business. I am not splitting my funds between this thing over here that then, like, logistically, the kids got to get to this school. So I'm assuming they need to be in a certain district to get to this school. Once we get this school open that's somewhere else, then, like, how does that districting and all of those things work? I'm not saying he don't need work. I'm just saying I logistically am not doing that. I cannot be spreading my funds between these two different things. And if you gave me money for the school, it needs to go to the school.
Yeah. So I fundamentally disagree. I believe when you have a heart or a passion for something, then you do it on the level that you can. So, for instance, I was at a previous church, and we had all of these grandiose dreams of this campus and this huge church and gymnasium and food distribution center and clothing pantry and all of these things that we wanted to do and we needed to raise money for. But in the meantime, until we got that money, we were doing nothing that was leaning in the direction of the things we said we wanted to do. Meanwhile, I knew several churches that was actually smaller than our church that was getting way more accomplished. No, we don't have this building where we can feed the whole city like we want to, but we have, we have this small area dedicated for a food pantry. If someone needs assistance, then they can do that. We do put together Thanksgiving baskets, and last year we were able to give 10 families Thanksgiving meals and provide for them. This year we was able to provide 25. Next year we're gonna do 40. You did what you could do with what you had. If you're not doing anything with what you have, why would I believe that you're going to do something when we give you more?
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that.
And right now he's done nothing but say we need more money for this building. And what anybody with real vision and passion, though, is not in a building. It starts first in the heart and the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you right now? Who is your mentees? What is your you should have classrooms of people that you are already developing right now.
Right.
And all we see you doing, you're going around lecturing and asking for money.
That's a good point, because at the very least, you can do like a summer program where it may not be in that space, but there's some space that you can rent out where you're doing specific like summer programs for kids or whatever, or you're educating somebody on some level. You're right.
It's like, what if Genuine Joe's closed down and said, well, we can't, we can't, and well, until Genuine Joe's open up for us, then we can't do free thinkers no more. No, matter of fact, that was even meeting of the minds. When that happened, then we like, all right, we're going to do this regardless. If we got to go to somebody's house, we're gonna do this. If we got to stand on the corner, we're gonna do this.
That building literally no longer standing.
If you make an excuse, there's nothing under the sun. The internet could break down right now. I'm like, all right, well, Nikki, where we gonna meet at? How we gonna do this?
Right.
We gonna get Denise on 3-way. How we gonna like? We gonna do it. But it shows the mindset that you have toward it. When you're not doing anything, that means you really don't. You're telling me you really don't have a mindset to do it.
That's a good point. I can't push back on that. Okay, question, Nikki. You were gonna say who was gonna get you out there to vote? I need to know this.
She said, "I want to know."
This the person you picking for president, or who you like? Yeah.
If he ran, I put the fucking sticker on him. I voted. Take a picture and put it on social media. I voted. Swear to God, I would.
Who?
RZA. It's
Tell me why.
I love RZA. Love RZA.
I don't know enough
The
about
White House
RZA on the
soundtrack.
like political sphere or like mindset sphere to know why.
Islam is.
Oh, Reza Islam. I thought you meant RZA from Wu-Tang.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Wu-Tang RZA. I really thought you were talking about
That's
Wu-Tang
what I was
RZA.
like. Tell me more.
Okay, gonna be a bomb. White House gonna have a bomb soundtrack. Like,
He said a bomb soundtrack.
if I'm elected president, every school will have a studio.
Oh, that RZA might. No, RZA Islam. RZA Islam. I would vote for him in a heartbeat.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that. I've heard some of the things that he said.
I haven't really listened to him. I gotta listen to him more.
Oh, I love him. Unlike Umar, you know, he's just doing it. Like, you know, he literally just made a women's feminine, like an organic sanitary pad, a pad for women. Like, has a whole entire, like, healthy, organic, non-toxic, like, obviously black owned, completely black supported, you know, feminine products for women. So I mean, like, he's not just talking about the ideas. The team, of course, collectively, and I'm sure the money that is coming in all the different areas is being put towards good work. So, you know, to that point, I like when Umar first came out with the idea, I thought it was fantastic. Absolutely. Same thing with LeBron. Absolutely. Like, what better way? If I had that kind of money and I wanted to house my people and teach my people and use my curriculum and, you know, empower my people, I would fucking build a school so fast. So I was 100% down for what Umar wanted to do. I thought it was a beautiful thing. I thought it was a great thing. But I think that all too often, too many people get off the money, man, and it fucking changes things. And I don't feel like I've seen that with RZA Islam at all. Like,
you know, with Umar, I don't even know if it's the money so much as it's partly money, but I think a lot of it is the fame.
I agree.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
He was that fame. He's more comfortable with the fame than him actually going in the background and being a you know, starting a school somewhere. I think he enjoys he's on all the Vlad TVs and all the different programs, and I think he just enjoys that more. It's an easier path than you trying to build a school.
And they paying him.
Or one would think why don't he use that money that he get paid for these interviews? Because they got to pay him for those interviews, like the one that he would have on the
I really think he's more
the Breakfast Club 2 or 3 times. You said Vlad, like he get paid for those. You know, like why not use that?
I know
the money that you put in your
more
pocket
comfortable being a celebrity
towards school.
I mean, that you still got to live. The man got to make some sort of income.
I know, but I think he's more comfortable being a celebrity, though.
I agree.
That's what I feel.
I agree, but I do like some of his concepts. I do like the fact that he's well researched as it pertains to like Black community and how it affects how certain things affect the Black community and how we're educated or like the lack of resources we have, like those kind of things. And he gets into that bag and like he knows his numbers, his stats, his etc. Like that's what I like about Dr. Umar. So maybe he could be on
the Prince of Pan-Africanism
board, or whatever the case may be. What is it?
And he got too much ego for me anyway. I don't like my public servants to be that egotistical.
Yeah.
You
gotta have humility. You gotta have more humility than not. I agree.
Yehuda, who you picking?
But in all, I love the stuff he says though. And all, I love
I
the
don't
stuff
have
he
this.
says,
I don't
man.
have
It's
a
like,
dog in this fight in this political race. I don't even know who's running. What's going on? You talking about the
No, we're just
presidency or
saying
something else?
the question
who
was
is the question is, if you could pick anybody, even non-political, who would you choose to be?
Non-political.
If you could just choose someone to be the president, then who would you choose? And I mean, it could be rappers, actors, ball players, scientists, social comedians, personalities, whoever. It could be anybody.
I have to say Dave Chappelle. He does his
Think about
homework as
that.
far as
I didn't think about it.
no, like if you really pay attention as far as like how he orchestrate his comedy specials, he's very knowledgeable, and he he makes it in a funny way, but he can give you some game. Like his past special was dope. And he went into the history of Jack Johnson and whatnot. He was he gave it a history lesson with a little bit of a twist. So I think he'll be a good candidate as far as that goes. The LGBTQ and all of that, his thoughts on that and everything. So yeah, I think he'll be a strong candidate because he does have his hand on the political side as far as the political figures and what he thinks of them. So that would be my pick.
I'm not mad at that. I would if that was an
I ain't
option.
mad at that either.
I would do it. I do
Right.
it.
Right.
Q. Who you picking?
I don't know. Dave Chappelle wouldn't be a bad one for me. Also, Ice Cube wouldn't be a bad one for me either.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I would probably I'd probably pick Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I'm not mad at that.
I need someone to be objective in their thought and their mind process, and someone who actually cares about the earth itself, as we are tearing the earth apart, trying to be America first. That would he's one of the most objective person. He doesn't believe in religion, but he believes everyone has the right to practice religion. As long as it doesn't step in the way, it shouldn't be a political issue, and it shouldn't be an issue of science. So everything that he says, there's fairness. He's one of the fairest and most objective people that I listen to here.
Yeah,
if
I'm not mad at that.
I couldn't do it, but I would want to. But if Minister Farrakhan was 20 years younger, then I'd think about that.
Really?
That's
oh man. Ooh.
That's like RZA. I love RZA because, of course, he follows behind Minister Farrakhan. I love Farrakhan as well.
Yeah, now Farrakhan is a good choice. I listen to some of his lectures, and man, he be going in. He be going in. Yeah, he's there. He'll be a good candidate for real.
I have a question, y'all.
On a side note, just as a comedian, I wouldn't mind Jon Stewart either. I think Jon Stewart would be good. But go ahead, Denise. What are you saying?
Do y'all think that they were setting Martin Luther King up to eventually run, and that's what wanting the vote was part of that was about?
Probably.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
And if they were, then they weren't doing it for him to win.
Right.
Some of that stuff is just to set precedent.
Got it.
Just like Jesse Jackson did. I can't remember if Al Sharpton did, but it's one of those things you set a precedent to let people know that it can be done. And I may not be the one that get there, but like, because on top of that is in the two-party system, if you're not affiliated with either party, you're not gonna win. So that's. But you do want to show people representation is a real thing. And if you can do something that sparks the brain to say, oh, he ran for president, then that's something that I may want to try one day. And so when the next person tries it 10, 15, 20, 50 years from now, and the temperature is right and people are ready to receive that, then, and that's where all of this, even with women presidents, it's important that women keep running for president. Because now it's not a even though a woman has not become president yet, It's not a far-fetched thought that it's impossible. Like, no, it's
Right.
possible. I just got to get a
Right.
couple more things. But maybe 20 years ago, that wasn't really a thought. Like, it wasn't a real
20
tangible
years
thought
ago,
like
this
it
was
could really
far-fetched.
happen. Yeah,
20 years ago,
but now
this was,
it's not far-fetched now.
yeah, 20 years ago, 1000% far-fetched. 20 years ago, having a black president was far-fetched.
Right.
That's
Especially named
2006.
Barack Obama. Like, man,
Yeah.
your name got to be,
And for your name to be Barack Obama.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That was
Hold on.
black.
That
was
on.
blickety
No.
black.
Back up. Barack Hussein Obama.
Who said? We ain't got a good relationship with nobody Hussein. Not back then.
Like, for somebody that
yo, that name association?
Yeah.
That was rough. He made that happen. That was a good campaign. That is, I would say, hands down, the best campaign there ever was. And there hasn't, the next person to do a campaign similar, which I think they just ripped off Obama stuff, was our current mayor. Like, it was really like just taking that whole thing and just like reworking it. That was an amazing campaign. In fact, they need to go back and look at that campaign for when it's time to vote again.
But that's the thing. When you rally young people, it's a different type of energy.
Right. Old folks who vote for Obama too, because my grandma was ready to go.
Oh my goodness. Every black person over the age of I have a lot of Republicans and people who won't even vote Democrat in my family. Mm-hmm. And when Barack won, they was in tears. Because it's the representation of something that was these people we don't understand that because we grew up in an integrated society, but these people they never thought anything, they never thought they would see that in their lifetime. Mm-hmm. And for them to experience a black president, then all of them was in tears. Mm-hmm. Even my Republican family was in tears.
Yeah, I remember that. I had got me a Barack Obama shirt, one of them knockoff shirts. I sure did. I had got me a little Obama knockoff shirt. I was proud. I ain't gonna lie. That was a different kind of feeling. Oh, yeah. First time voting too. And please. First time and second to last time. I ain't voted since I couldn't vote for Obama no more.
No, you know what? No, I voted for him, and then I'm like, I voted for him the second time too. I'm like, well, all right, we gotta keep him. He got 2 term, make him legit. He gotta be 2-term president.
Gotta be.
And then I'm like, all right, I'm done with that. But this crazy orange dude up in the White House, I was like, I did vote again because I'm like, I don't want him getting back in here because this is not business as usual. This is
He took it
now the first time I ain't care. It ain't make me no different. But when I seen the divisiveness that he produced, and when he was coming back in again, then I did vote. I'm like, I didn't vote for it. I voted anti-Trump. Yeah. I'm like, I'm voting for you not to be in office. But listen, I did my part. So now y'all got to deal with this crazy dude.
Yeah, this is some next level bullshit that I couldn't anticipate. I know I sound crazy. I know I sound crazy. I ain't think it was
because you've never seen a president act like this before. How can you expect it to this degree? Nobody can expect that.
Right.
Nobody can expect that.
That's
and did you hear? Okay, on the side note, we got what 5 minutes left. Did y'all watch the Super Bowl halftime?
Yep.
What? Which one?
Did y'all see what he said about Bad Bunny? Oh, you said which one? Oh my god. So he over here talking trash about Bad Bunny and all. I'm like,
why?
As the president, why is this your concern and your business? This is crazy.
What did he say? No, don't repeat it. No, don't worry about it.
I have to find it.
Don't even worry about it.
Like, because I just
it isn't important.
Yeah, like my thing is, I loved it. As soon as I found out that Bad Bunny was performing, I was like, oh yes. And the petty side of me was
I
like,
don't know one
they're gonna
song
do
to
so
his.
bad. and they
I heard.
and I love it
I read it.
because
I read it.
I've seen Bad
No, go
Bunny
ahead. Go ahead.
perform at the Grammys. And when I saw him perform, I'd never seen, except for like probably when Kendrick performs and when Kendrick and Beyonce perform together, I feel like I've never seen a performance at the Grammy specifically that was that culturally rich. That was not trying to appease to America. That was not trying to appease to being
Yeah,
commercial. Like that
that
was
is
just
true.
straight up like, this is my culture. I'm putting it on display, and that's where I'm at.
Kendrick is a
And you're
genius.
going to feel
All right,
uncomfortable.
Denise.
Hmm.
Right.
Let me add something to that. So I didn't even know who this dude was, and then I read a story on him on Facebook. So he started off as bagging groceries in his country, and then he would start like making music like after work and whatnot. And when he started to get that that notoriety, that popularity, that fame, and start YouTube and all of that. Um, One thing that because you mentioned something about as far as culturally rich. One
Yeah.
thing that I read that he did that all the other like artists that come from those type of countries would do, because the record executives would tell them you got to cross over, so you got to make a song in English. He refused to make a song in English, so all of his songs or his album, whatever, is in Spanish. He refused to do it in English. So, he basically went against the grain rather than with it. And I was like, that's kind of interesting because he didn't there will be like major record companies coming his way, offering this, that, and the third, and he would shut it down. And then he would get like multiple millions of views on YouTube. But it's a pretty interesting story as far as where he started, the way he is now, and how he like basically went against the norm. Because
Yeah.
the norm was, you got to cross over so you can hit mainstream. But he's like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. And the next thing you know, he's performing at the halftime show. Interesting story though.
No, I like that about him. Like I believe that it sounds like he's been the same through and through. Because I remember when I seen his Grammy speech, after watching him do that, I watched him basically do his whole Grammy speech in damn near Spanish, and I was like, "You doing this for your people?"
Yeah, like
I love
he
that.
refused. He refused.
Yeah, like for him to straight up be like, "This is for my people." Like it's not for y'all to understand. This is for my
Yeah,
people. I just loved it. So when I heard it, I said, "Oh yeah, he about to." I'm like, "We ain't
he
gonna
went
hear
for
a lick
broke.
of English, and I'm gonna be sitting
Yep,
right there watching."
yep.
Rooting them on, not knowing what the hell is being said, but I'm gonna be watching, and that's
Did you?
exactly what he did.
Everybody talking about Cardi B was on there, so she was on the stage. But
Mm.
she was like, she was there though. She was on stage. Oh, and another thing that I read that was interesting. The couple that got married on the show. I mean, on the at the halftime show. It wasn't a prop. They actually got married in front of
Yeah.
millions of people on the halftime show because they invited him and he
Uh oh.
declined. He declined the
Houston, are you still
offer.
there?
But yeah, I'm here. Can you hear
You're
me?
like muted.
I'm unmuted.
That
Can you hear me
it,
now?
Nikki, can you hear him?
I can.
Can you hear me?
Okay, let me hop out and hop back in.
Okay.
See what happens. Keep going. Go ahead. What you were saying?
Yeah, so the couple that got married on his halftime show actually got married on his halftime show because they invited him and he declined, and then he just flipped it around on. He's like, "Why don't you come on get married on my at my performance?" And that was like, dang, that was dope. Like they actually got married on the halftime show in front of millions of people. That's
That,
dope.
that's cool. Cool. I didn't watch it. I mean, I didn't watch it because I knew that I would eventually see the snippets either immediately after it was over or, next day. So I saw
Mhm.
all the lights that people, liked. I thought it was cool that he sang everything in Spanish. Naturally everybody else was going
Yeah.
to be about that part, right? So I thought that was great. Um,
What
I saw the part where he gave the little boy his Grammy.
His Grammy. Yep.
So I saw that go through social media. I thought that was pretty awesome. I
What?
don't know. I mean, I watched. The only reason I watched the Super Bowl last year was because it was Kendrick. But I don't watch Super Bowl. I don't watch football. So I had people like, "Oh, you're not going to watch it for Bad Bunny." I don't give a shit about that.
But hey, yo, check this out. To that point, Nikki. I really wanted to watch the beginning of the Super Bowl because of Coco Jones. When I found out that she was going to sing the
Oh
Black
wow,
National
that was
Anthem,
amazing.
man, I was like, oh yeah, that because you never ever heard the Black National Anthem sung at the Super Bowl. It's always the national anthem. So when I found that out, I was like, oh man, I'm on that. But lo and behold, I
Yeah,
missed because I had other obligations.
She came
Huh?
out with a she came
But
out in a rendition of Whitney Houston's
Whitney Houston. But when I heard watch the replay, man, she tore that thing up. She tore it up. Them
Hold
vocals is
on. Yeah,
bad,
she
man.
did. She killed it.
She killed it.
I was
She killed it,
yeah, I
man.
felt it right
Vocals is
there
bad,
beside
boy.
my eye.
Don't mess that up. What's that guy name? Don't mess it up, Mitchell. Don't mess that up. Donovan Mitchell, that's
This
his
is
name.
what
Donovan. Don't
Donald
mess that up.
yeah. This is what Trump said. He's let me get Denise. Okay, you can hit Denise. He said the Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. It makes no sense. It's an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. This show, quote unquote, is just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting new standards and records every single day, including
Guy.
including the best stock market and 401ks in history.
You can tell he's not
There's
cultured.
nothing inspirational about this mess of a halftime show and watch. I will get great reviews from the fake news media because they haven't got a clue of what's going on in the real world. And by the way, the NFL should immediately replace its ridiculous new kickoff rule. Make America great again, President Donald Trump.
He just
I
be
do agree
saying
with I do
shit.
agree with the kickoff rule actually, but go ahead.
He just be saying shit. That performance was dope. Like,
That
first of all,
was it really was.
Bad Bunny.
He's not cultured.
was
That's
insane.
obvious.
What was that? You went on?
I say it's obvious he's not cultured.
It's just obvious he don't care. Whether you cultured or not, anybody with eyes can see that it was a good performance.
That was a very well put together show.
Hey,
That was
I didn't understand the word he was saying, but the performance was good though.
The performance
was
was great. The cinematography, the camera, how they was going in and out, all of the cultural things that they put in there, even with the sugar canes.
He was repping it over there. Puerto Rico, Belize. He's repping on Central America over there.
Yeah, he's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I know.
But he put a lot of he put like a lot of flags in it, different flags towards the end.
He put basically all the Southern American flags in. Well, all the American
flags. Those that are around that region.
It wasn't even he included America and he included Canada. He was just like, look, we're gonna represent America. Top to bottom, from Canada down to the lowest southern. So it was good. And sometimes this is the way that white privilege come in. Everything ain't got to be directly for you.
It don't.
No, I didn't understand what he was saying either, but I realized this was something that was a representation of a large portion of our society. And get off your high horse thinking that America belongs to English-speaking people. That's that old racist stuff right there. And hold on, and let's just take this back to football a little bit further. Yehukanan, I don't know if you know this.
Well, I got some for that. I got some for that halftime show too. I got some history.
Where is one of the places that they've been hosting NFL games for the last 2 or 3 years? Has it not been in? Have they not been taking the NFL games to Mexico? Have they not been
Yeah,
trying to
they've
expand
they've
themselves
been
in Southern America?
yeah they've been going international the past few years. Actually, it's going to be 9 international games next season.
So
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
so I was at a Super Bowl party. I'm gonna tell you. I
All
was
right,
at
so
a
let me
Super
give you a
Bowl
little
party.
something on the halftime about
I
the
was at a
halftime
Super
show.
Bowl party, and one of my friends who was hosting a Super Bowl party, he's a Trump supporter, and he's a he's a diehard Trump supporter. So even when this stuff was going on in Bad Bunny, the halftime show, I'm like, damn, this real dope. Like just looking at the visual of it, I'm like, man, this is real dope. This is well put together. And he's like, man, why don't they speak English? Why come they ain't speaking English? I'm like, nigga, they ain't got to speak English for you. What's wrong with you? So then he turns around. So this is what I didn't know. We kind of knew at the time. So there was another group of people who put together an alternate Super Bowl halftime show on another station or network. Did y'all hear about that?
Yeah,
Yes,
you know what?
Charlie Kirk's
You know what
widow.
they called them?
What they call it?
They called them the same people that needed their own water fountains back in the day.
So hold on. Yeah, exactly. So
That-
you know, I'm stupid. I don't care who. I don't care if it's your house or whatever. So he comes in there while the halftime show Bad Bunny going on. He comes blasting on his phone. This other, I don't know who it was, Kid Rock. So I don't know, somebody from the other.
Kid Rock.
And he starts having it play on his phone while we're in the middle watching halftime show. And I just start, I tell like, you so disrespectful. What's wrong with you? He's like, oh, what? He's like, man, I just listening to it. I'm like, no, you ain't. I said, who listens to other music while the halftime show going on somewhere else? I'm like, don't be a hater.
Rude
No,
ass.
I ain't being no hater. I'm like, no, you being an absolute hater. You say anything else, you deflecting on stuff. So I dragged him and trolled him for a good for a good 20 minutes.
He was
Speaking of
bringing
laughing,
hateration and holleration.
And the other people, I said, I'm not getting invited back to his house no more because I think I made him mad. But
speaking of the halftime
crazy.
show, you guys may or may not know. I didn't know this until about a few years ago, maybe. But the way that the Super Bowl halftime show was done today was because of Keenan Ivory Wayans. So what they did in 1992, they basically stole the Super Bowl viewers. They put on a live special at the halftime of In Living Color.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and they clocked it. They clocked it. They timed it. It's like,
right.
Well, y'all check out the show, and then once the show is over, y'all can go back to the second half. So the NFL took notice, the commissioner took notice, and the next year and the year after that, or I would say the next year in particular, they booked Michael Jackson, and then after that, the rest is history. But the way the Super Bowl is done today was because of Keenan Ivory Wayans.
And I think I remember
I
that.
was like, man, when I first found that, I was like, that was dope.
On the side to show, like, all right,
yeah, they had a countdown. You have to clock.
They had a whole countdown.
Did y'all know that?
Go back to the.
No,
I didn't know that was.
Did y'all know that?
I do remember when it happened.
I have a question. Were they not booking black people prior to that? Was that the whole thing in Living
Well, according to Marlon Wayans, because he was on the Club Shay Shay, he was like they would have the marching band at the halftime show. So ain't nobody gonna tune into that at the halftime show. So they was like, they had the idea of like, all right, we're gonna steal the Super Bowl audience, and they was like, everybody turned to Fox and watch it Living Color, live. So I think they stole like 20 million, people, like 20 million or so people, then switched to Fox to watch In Living Color for the halftime. So once NFL took notice of them still in their viewers, that's when they were like, oh, we can't have this happening. So the following year, that's when they booked Michael Jackson, and then the rest is history as far as like halftime show performances and having these major artists throughout the years leading up to today for Big Bunny. Or Bad Bunny, excuse me.
So interesting. I did not know that. That's interesting.
Now I'm looking at this.
I didn't know that either until like Marlon talked about it in his interview. I was like, what? I was like, dang. Yeah, they did that.
I'm seeing bands all through the 70s. They had a lot of bands.
They got bands. Yeah. Yeah, like marching band. Yeah.
79, 80.
Marching bands or
Yeah.
Yes, marching bands.
Los
Marching
Angeles
bands.
Drill Team, 1983, Florida.
Wow.
University of Florida Marching Band. Yep.
Wow.
1987. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I
is
didn't know that
all
either. And I was like,
I didn't know that. All bands,
yeah,
all
I
the
didn't
way
know
up
that.
through age 60s to 89,
Mhm.
90, marching bands. Okay, so hold on. It was I see, hold on, 1991. I see New
When I
Kids on
found
the
that out, I
Block.
was like, man, that's
Who's
dope
the
right there. They
kid?
did that. They did that, boy. NFL pulled that rugged move. They was like, nope, we ain't doing that again.
Yeah,
We got to book a
93,
halftime. We
they
got
had
to book a
Michael
big time
Jackson.
artist. And yeah,
Yeah,
man, and
since then,
they
after
did
that, man,
it
they all
in a
had big artists.
an emphatic fashion. They booked Michael Jackson. I was like, dang.
Right. Because who else could you get that? Like, if this is
Who
gonna be your
else?
first time,
Yeah. Like
that's the best
you
person to
know
get.
Nobody
you're gonna
changing
have
that
people
channel
tune
after
in
that.
when Mike show up, huh?
Yeah, ain't nobody changed the channel after that.
Oh, they ain't nobody.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna stay on. Yeah. So they did. They achieved their goal, and then the rest is history as far as
In
Super Bowl
94,
halftime performances.
Clint Black. 95, Patti LaBelle.
Yep. They had
96,
Pat
Diana
Prince
Ross.
and Diana. Yeah.
1997, the Blues Brothers, James Brown. 98,
Mm-hmm.
Boys to Men, Smokey Robinson. Temptations. 99, Gloria Stefan, Stevie Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
2000, Phil Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, and Tony Braxton. 2001, Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, Nelly. They don't even go together. They're just throwing people up in there.
I think they were doing kind of the same thing the Grammys end up doing later, where they're like, let's try to get two completely different, so we can kind of please both, groups of people who we think might be watching, basically black people and white people.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. Oh, these are just showing some of the features. Okay, I got you. Okay, that was just some of the people that's featured on there. But by 2001, it was Aerosmith and NSYNC. 02, U2, Shania Twain. 03, Janet Jackson.
You talking about the headliners?
That was 2004. Yeah, that was a famous nip slip. Paul McCarthy in 05, Rolling Stones 06, Prince 07.
Yeah, it's funny when a celebrity something happen like that happens to a celebrity, like the little wardrobe malfunction or whatnot, they get blacklisted like a mug, man. Like they career, go downhill after something like that in the public eye. It's crazy.
I can't believe that was a mistake.
I was
I'm sorry. I don't believe that was a mistake.
The rumor is she did that to get the heat off her brother.
She did it to what?
Well, but the Janet Jackson thing, she was talking about it took her years to recover from that incident. As far as like her concert tickets when she would have concerts. And I think when like a few years, the 2010s probably up, is when like she had like those type of numbers that she used to have because of that incident. Another one that you can like you probably can like off the top of the dome memory when Lil Mama got up on that stage and she interrupted Jay-Z and Alicia Keys' performance. No, I'm just saying this is an example as far as
ruin your career.
Celebrities make like when those type of things, like those type of incidents, they get blacklisted to where like their career is pretty much either in jeopardy or whatever the case. Yeah,
I don't think
I just thought of that when you read that Janet Jackson.
But
it get derailed.
You can't tell me that was. I just don't believe that was a mistake. I feel like they did that on purpose.
Whether if it was planned or not, it kind of put it in her career a little bit.
I mean, you literally can't have a song talking about I'm gonna have you naked by the end of the song, and then you actually rip it out, and then you say, "Oh,
actually, that was Justin Tenderfoot, but he wasn't."
I know.
Janet
I believe
featured on that.
I believe it was all choreographed. I think they did that.
Yeah, but Janet wasn't featured on this song though. She wasn't featured.
Yeah. I'm talking about the performance. I believe that performance.
Yeah, I know the performance as far as that goes. Yeah,
right.
Hey,
but
okay, if it was a move to get the smoke off her brother, then so be it.
149. I think we got it all out. Anybody got any other last words?
Do your homework. Do
Oh.
your homework. For those who don't know what homework is, because we might be
Uh-oh.
putting some extra sauce on this homework now. The homework is
Uh-oh.
you, and we've been doing this for what, three weeks now, maybe 4. Yeah, tell people crazy idea or goal to gain confidence, to speak your desires out loud. See what happens. You know, guess what? Sometimes people are going to be like, okay. Sometimes people are going to be like, are you sure? Sometimes people are going to be like, hey, do you know this person that could probably help you with this thing and redirect you somewhere? The point is this: you have to normalize speaking about the things that you want to do. It's not a secret. It shouldn't be a secret. You got to go after what that thing is. And the way to do it, first thing it is, you have to be able to verbalize that this is something that you want to do. You have to be able to say it out loud. And you got to get to the point where you say it confidently. And then you're going to start to see things shift in your life. And you're going to see things show up in your lap. And it's going to be your responsibility to do something with the things that you were given. And that's what Free Thinkers is about. We're thinking freely, which means we're freeing ourselves from this, you know, the things that society tells us that we should be doing, that we shouldn't, that don't serve us, that don't help us grow. So make sure you're doing your homework. Report back in the comment section. Let us know what's going on with you. We want to hear from you because we're going through it over here at Free Thinkers. We're shifting.
Moving, baby. Moving and grooving.
So, Nikki, you
Anybody
got
else?
anything else?
I'm good.
Moving and grooving.
I'm glad we got to spend a little bit more time just kind of expanding and just kind of just what this looks like to us. I was really happy that you had that experience the next day, and next week's topic I think is going to be great. And we're going to talk about lust next week, so I think we can go from
Ooh, lust.
something else. So I think it'll be
Yeah.
great. I think this is great. I think the homework is great. I love that. I think that has probably been one of the most beneficial things for us to add to this so far for me. So I'm super excited to see what this does for anybody else who takes the challenge and does the homework.
Yep.
For sure.
Good
That's it.
night.
You Huguenot, you got anything?
Nah, boss, I'm straight. Y'all have a good night. You know what I'm saying?
Good night,
Fan to me.
everybody.
I'm straight too. All right. Till next week. Y'all have a good night.
Later.
All right.